Okay, before we get started, anyone here who is here for improper hygiene, you want to go across the hall, this is proper hygiene, and we're going to begin now. Okay. I think you may be mistaken as to the function of this device. Okay, now you see here a number of children being taught proper hygiene in young elementary school. Now, you are all obviously here because you did not take this in young elementary school, and because, understandably, it's not a curriculum in some foreign countries, like, you know, Nova Scotia. So, we are going to teach you how to be as hygienic as these children. More advanced proper hygiene will be taught next semester. Now, in the early days of hygiene, soap, one of the key ingredients of hygiene, was not actually just widely available. You had to go and harvest it from the clouds yourself. So what we see here is an early soap harvesting machine that the pilot would sit here, he would pedal his machine up into the clouds, where the scoop on top would filter the soap particles out of the cloud, and then it would gather it. When it filled, it would no longer be aerodynamic, and he would come down to the earth, and his relatives would collect the soap that he had gathered. Now, without that soap, that helped millions of people have proper hygiene, society as we know it just wouldn't function, because this lady here went around killing people who had not used enough soap in their day. She was known as the first proper hygienist, a profession near and dear to my heart. Before I decided to become a professor of hygiene, I went around killing people. So just be prepared for your final exam. Now, this actually, this is for my travel album. Got mixed into the slideshow somehow. This was my ship that I went around killing people. We had a crew. I don't know, those were good times, different times. Times that the law doesn't want us to keep going, but I digress. Now, when surveyed about people who thought that it was too harsh to be killing people who weren't properly hygienic, only 10% of people said that it was too harsh. 90% of people said that it wasn't actually harsh enough, and that we should be killing people and burning them so that the smoke would go up into the clouds and form more soap. Now, Pac-Man, a symbol of the hygienic resistance back in the days before soap, he went around collecting pellets of soap. And then when those nasty odors that coalesced into sentient clouds and eyeballs, when they were chasing him around the soap mazes of the day, because back then they couldn't fly up to the clouds to gather the soap. They had to actually go underground into these terrible catacombs where these essentially stink ghosts would chase him around. And only by gathering the breath mints that would turn all of the stink blue could he survive. Truly, a noble hero. Now, back before my line of work was outlawed because people thought that killing people was too harsh and 10% should rule, people had to be on their guard at all times. So these people were not properly hygienic, but at least they were smart. They were watching each other's backs at all times. I could not sneak up on these people. This is one of my surveillance photos from when I was trying to take them out. You could smell these people from like 8 or 9 feet away. And so, really, if you're going to harvest soap, which you really should, I encourage all of you to go out, take my summer course, which actually you build your own soap harvesting machine. I encourage you all to take it. You can keep any soap you collect, or any that your relatives collect and then crash horribly to the ground and die. But there's more than just having too much soap and crashing to worry about. There are, of course, the terrible soap beasts. That, of course, is a topic for another day. So, in conclusion, whether you are tall or sitting, everyone needs to be hygienic, or else you will find that you will die. Class dismissed. Oh, what?
Sir Doctor, now you were saying that Pac-Man was a symbol of the resistance before the time when we were able to go up into the clouds to harvest these soap particles. Can you just give us a timeline, the historical period in which soap was harvested via Pac-Man, and then once soap was harvested from the clouds?
Well, we don't have an accurate picture of the history just yet, but from the best our historians can gather, it was about Monday, Tuesday that Pac-Man was our only method of gathering soap. But I think, and there are others who disagree, some say it was Wednesday, but I feel that it was actually Tuesday night that the first soap gathering ships went up into the sky to get the soap. But good question.
Time for one more.
One more. Okay. You there with the hat.
Yeah, Mr. Doctorberger, I was wondering if there's any alternative to harvesting the soap other than, just straight up death.
Well, a few crazy people like myself have suggested actually having robots go up into the clouds. But as we all know, the robots aren't smart enough to clean themselves, and so they themselves have bad hygiene, and going up into the clouds and getting their robot bad hygiene all over the soap, I feel it dilutes the purity.
How ironic.
Exactly. Okay, so no more questions. The final will be in about 15 minutes. Good luck.
Phenomena.